Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and when it comes to colleges in America, universities in America, and then clearly somewhere over there in the UK as well, it gets crazy when you start talking about pro-social justice groups and activities, because these people are functionally insane, and they oftentimes like to go full-bore retarded, which takes me to University of Arizona in Tempe, where last week there was a job posting seeking social justice advocates, which essentially were student-led positions paying $10 an hour to kind of like, organize meetings and talk about social justice-y things, manage bulletin boards on the floors of which they lived, as, I'm sure in the residencies. Oh, and there was that one other thing too, where they were basically being paid to snitch on other students who may show bias or perform other microaggressions. Yeah. They were basically paying students $10 an hour to rat on other kids. And at a pro-party college like University of Arizona in Tempe, I'm pretty sure that there would be a fair amount there for them to rat on. Now, it's not that what the kids were doing is always bad. It's just that when it comes to social justice warriors and this kind of situation, it never goes well for anyone involved, because the definition of what is considered either bias or microaggression literally changes depending on the person you talk to. Just recently, another college came out and said that not looking someone in the eyes is considered a microaggression. I'm not even making that up. Not looking someone in the eyes is a microaggression. Also probably bogged down by institutional racism or some such bullshit. I wish I was kidding. There's plenty of reasons why you don't look someone in the eye. Maybe insecurity, maybe you're doing something else, maybe you just don't give a shit about that person as you're passing by them on the street. Because to some people, if you're walking one way and they're walking the other, and you look at each other and you make eye contact, it could possibly creep them out. Because they might be dealing with the same kind of insecurities that you might be dealing with. You don't know what's in their mind, but if you don't look them in the eye, you're clearly a racist who exhibits microaggressions or bias. That's the world we live in right now. But this particular job posting at this point came under fire, lots of fire last week, and the University of Phoenix decided to pull it. They were just like, "Whoa, no, we're done. We're not doing this thing anymore." Except the position's already been filled by 4 people, but it's currently under review because they're in the process of reviewing the title and responsibilities. Now, they did come out and say to the Phoenix Times, Phoenix New Times, that the reason why they pulled it was because the title social justice advocate was a little bit too politically charged, and it just set off alarms. So they're not pulling it and reevaluating it because they want to hire students. They got backlash for wanting to hire students to spy on other students. They pulled it because the term social justice advocate, or SJA, is too politically charged right now. That's such a, I don't even like to use this term very often, but that is a super tone deaf response. It's a brand change, but people are going to know precisely what the fuck it is because other people are going to be out there talking about it. Which also goes to show you that they're not going to reevaluate what's done in this particular job title. They're just going to give it a more flowery name. Like it's going to be, no, I'm not a hall monitor for social justice. They might just call it a fucking hall monitor. They might just call it that. Like, I'm a hall monitor. It doesn't sound like you're ratting out students for microaggressions and racial bias or sexist bias or so on and so forth. Just that you're paying attention to what's going on. This is all it is. It's just hiring kids to be hall monitors in college. People leave high school and middle school and elementary school to get away from that kind of shit. College is a time for experimentation, to challenge your ideas. This isn't challenging anything. This is once again a situation where they're going to try and basically attack students for thinking differently. And yes, in a state like Arizona that is predominantly red in terms of its voter base, this isn't going to go over well. But at the schools or at the universities there, they're trying to lead the charge in terms of, ratting out other people. Can we, like, has there ever been a good time in society where having those kind of people on the books in terms of being paid to spy on and rat on other people has ever ended well for the people that they're trying to rat on? I mean, who's going to be able to counter that, right? So if I'm going to University of Phoenix or whatever, I'm going there, or I'm going to the University of Arizona, Phoenix, sorry. I'm going out there. And I'm just like, yeah, I might be accused of a bias or microaggression. How would I fight that? How would I fight that? How would I have any ability to fight that? And at first they might just say, well, it's like a slap on the wrist. It's a slap on the wrist, right? But then as it increases, as it grows, then it might all of a sudden become a Title IX thing, right? Especially if they're trying to push Title IX and trying to merge it into this. So if it becomes a Title IX issue, you're fucked. Someone could accuse you of not looking at someone in the eye, and it could cost you your entire college scholarship, your entire education. It could really hurt you for life because somebody assumed something about you. And that's all this boils down to. It's just a whole fucking bunch of assumptions. And that is why something like this should be called out and should be stopped, because this never leads to anything good. But when it comes to social justice warriors as a whole, they don't care. They don't want to care. Because if they care, that means that they have to then act for the betterment of everybody. And they don't want that, because that would go against their narrative. And the narrative, Russian Olympics. We all know that. We see it time and time again. It's so sad that it's still pushing and pushing and pushing. The only thing I could really hope for out of a Trump presidency is that eventually some people wake up to the fucking nonsense and start pushing back against this, because there's no way in hell it would happen under Obama or even fucking Hillary or even Bernie. So maybe, just maybe, that's like the one glimmer of hope for 4 years of the Orange Dawn in the White House. But until then, I'm glad to see people talking about this. I'm glad to see people pushing back against this. Because all this leads us to do is label people, accuse people, and look for any reason to exude authority in order to then have them bend to your will. Because also, how many, okay, let's just say this whole thing runs through, it goes through, no questions asked, no one ever tries to run a checks and balances system on it. How long before you get a report about a social justice advocate, a paid employee of this school program, being accused of sexism, of racism, all trying to force students, extort students so they don't get blamed for something. This is, in essence, becoming an inquisition, a witch hunt, and that's only going to hurt people, never going to benefit anything. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I'm glad this information has come to light. What do you think about this? I really want to know your guys' thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. If you guys haven't already, definitely thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back daily for more content from me. If you guys also want to support the channel, links below in the video description. Right now, anything helps. VidCon's coming up in a few weeks, so I could really use some help on Patreon with that one. Anyway, my name, of course, is Matt Jarbo. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.